So, okay, back to you, Liz.
Thank you. So welcome to Being Together, 3 days of connection. And this event has only become possible because of these horrendous conditions of pandemic. A few hundred of us were due to be meeting in person in Birmingham this week, but we realised a few weeks ago that that wouldn't be safe, and then very quickly became clear that it wouldn't even be possible. And so the plans for being together have really been shaped by the situation around us. Firstly, it felt really important that we offer a place for people to connect at a level of depth while none of us can be with our loved ones beyond our own household. And secondly, it felt really important that as a Unitarian movement, we find our strength as a collective while there's so many changes affecting how we do things together, while congregating in person is out of the question. And thirdly, with everyone in the country having huge and sudden shifts in the tectonic plates of their lives, it felt really important to open our doors as wide as we can. And you've probably noticed in the past few weeks there's been a real flurry of entertainment that's hit our computer screens. Whether it's exercise classes or the National Theatre streaming plays that we can watch at home, or new online courses appearing, and of course the sort of almost infinite stream of news. And we hope that what we're offering this week creates a space to find depth together. Yes, we're connecting via technology. You probably all had a lot more video calls than you're used to, but we hope that we're creating a space where there's depth to be together, and that we can find the strength that comes from that. And I'm conscious that some of you will be joining after many decades of connection with the Unitarian movement, and some of you may not have heard of us before this week. And some of you are Unitarian ministers, some of you have been active in your congregation for many years, some have only been inside a Unitarian meeting house for a handful of times, and some maybe not at all. And you're all welcome. And also some of you have been using video calls for years, and for some people this might be your first time, and I'm really conscious of how many people have made huge leaps in their use of technology just in the last couple of weeks. So I'm grateful for everyone who's done that. And yes, everyone's welcome. Being together is for everyone. And you can take part in as much or as little as you like. So I'll tell you a little bit about what's coming up in the next few days. But we've got so many really brilliant things happening. And it started already with meditation at 8 o'clock this morning. Some of you were there. And we're starting each morning with a meditative practice. So you've got an opportunity to really ground your day well, whether it's with Christian mysticism or Qigong. We've got lots of different types of meditations, starting each day. So what else is on the programme? If you're involved in running a congregation or a community, or you would like to be, there's lots of opportunities to learn from established leaders. So coming up straight after this session, we've got a safeguarding workshop. And beyond that, there's workshops on communication about your congregation, family ministry, community outreach, innovation in worship, and different models of ministry. And for those of you who are treasurers, firstly, thank you. And we're running a surgery session tomorrow morning, where you can book a place to have some one-to-one support. Because we know that lots of congregations are looking at financial challenges right now with the impact of the pandemic. We've also got plenty of things to inspire you in the coming days, ranging from our Words and Spirit poetry workshop tomorrow, to the launch of the new book, Seeking Paradise by Stephen Lingwood, which is being launched this afternoon, and which explores Unitarian mission and community building. We've got reflections from a Unitarian minister's visit to the International Holocaust Memorial Centre in Jerusalem. We've got a workshop exploring the sacred in the natural world from the Earth Spirit Network. And we're also offering a workshop tomorrow on understanding our privilege by Unitarian author Judy Ride. which is obviously a topic that seems all the more pertinent as we see the way that the pandemic highlights the ingrained inequality in our society. So I hope to see lots of you there. Later this morning, I'll be taking part in a conversation hosted by Dugald Hine, who's a writer and thinker who explores climate, the arts and the sacred, who co-founded the Dark Mountain Project. And we'll be speaking with Paul Parker, who's the recording clerk for the Quakers in Britain, and Elizabeth Oldfield, who's the director of the think tank Theos, which explores the role of religion in society. And we're going to be having a conversation together to explore congregation and culture and the collective reimagining of how we live well together, which seems so needed right now. Tomorrow evening, I'm really excited that we've got our keynote speaker, the Quaker academic, spiritual activist and author Alistair McIntosh, who'll be speaking on the idea of the revolution will be spiritual. And there'll be a chance for us to have a collective conversation around that tomorrow evening. And then Shana Begum will be picking up the threads of that conversation in a workshop on Thursday to help us think about how we bring those ideas back into our communities. I'd also really encourage you to sign up for Heart and Soul. This is the small contemplative gathering that's been developed and then adapted for Zoom by Jane Blackall. Dozens of people have taken part in the online version just in the last few weeks. And we've got plenty of spaces over several sessions this week to take part. Around the theme of refuge. There's so much going on, so do have a look through the programme and see what you want to jump into. I'm really grateful for everyone who's leading these workshops and talks. It's genuinely a co-created gathering, and there's been, some things that have been in the pipeline for months and some things have just emerged in the last few days. And so it's been just brilliant to sort of see how people are sort of adapting and responding to, things changing all the time. On a practical note, you might have seen in the news this week the new phenomenon of Zoom bombing, whereby people butt into your meeting and are disruptive in quite horrible ways. So we've taken some sensible steps to prevent this from happening. So you came into a waiting room at the beginning, you had to put in a password. But if it does happen, then, or if other things go wrong, as I'm sure they will, then please bear with us. We'll be really grateful for your patience. This is the first time we're doing this. And we're all getting a lot of reminders, I think, in these weeks that none of us is really in control of anything. So yeah, I'm grateful for you all sort of taking part as we work out what this is. And I just feel really proud that we're creating this event together in these really difficult and uncertain times. It's clear that being together is essential. Even if we can't do it in person. And it's so important that we are paying attention to what matters, that we find hope together